Hello children, today it's time to start practicing some skills that you'll need for your DT project. So before we begin, let's remind ourselves about staying safe when using a needle. When you're using a needle, you need to remember that it's sharp so it can pass through the fabric easily. Make sure you are sitting at a table when you do your learning, or make sure you've got a tray on your lap so that if you drop your needle you can find it easily. When you're sewing, remember to pass the needle through the fabric, but don't take it too far away from your body so that you're just looking after yourself and anyone else with you. First of all, I'll show you how to thread a needle. We have done this before, but it's always good to have a reminder. When you're using your cotton, because the cotton is quite thin, it's always good to double up your thread. So I'm just putting two ends together, so now it's a little bit thicker, I've got doubled thread. Now when we've done sewing before, we've usually threaded our needle, tied a knot onto the end, and then passed it through the fabric. Because the eye of our needle is quite large, you need to make a really big knot in your thread so that it doesn't come all the way through. So I'm going to show you a different way to see if that helps you better. So I've doubled my thread and the loop is at this end. I'm not going to thread my needle onto the looped end. I'm going to thread my needle onto the ends that are loose here. So I want to pull my cotton, my thread, so it's just a tiny little bit peeping out between my thumb and my finger. There is a photograph of this on your home learning sheet as well. Then when I've got that tiny piece of thread just peeping out, I'm going to get the eye of my needle and put it right next to that thread. Then I can push the thread forwards and it comes through the eye of the needle and I can pull gently. Now that my needle is threaded, I need to make sure I hold on to it at the top here, just by the eye, otherwise it will come straight off the cotton again. Let me show you my technique for starting off. Pass your needle from the back of the fabric through to the front. When you pull, make sure you keep those threads together here and keep pulling until your thread is almost through. You can see there I've got the loop still there. Hold that loop still and then pass your needle back through the front. When it comes through the front, pull it all the way and just slot your needle through that loop there. When you pull it tight, you'll see your needle is secure. Today, we're going to be looking at different types of stitching. You'll remember I showed you running stitch, back stitch, cross stitch, and over stitch. On your home learning sheet, I've put some video links that will help you to learn those stitches. Watch those if you need some reminders. Another skill that you might want to develop today is plaiting. So I'm going to show you now how you can plait some wool. Here I've got 3 strands. Now I've doubled mine so that you can see it clearly, and that will give me a plait that's a little bit thicker. So I'm going to gather the 3 strands of wool together and I'm going to knot them at the top, and this means they won't then come apart. So I'll just do that now and then I'll show you how to start your plait. Now when you're plaiting somebody's hair, obviously it's not going to move when you pull on the hair, but with the wool I need this to stay still. So I either think it's a good idea to put something heavy on top of the end, or you can use some tape and you can tape it down to the table. I'll do that now, and then I know I've got a little bit of tension here and it's not going to move around. My wool is attached to the table and I've separated the 3 different strands. They're doubled. It's up to you whether you double yours or if you have it as single threads, single strands. When you plait, it's very simple and you keep repeating the same steps. I've got my middle thread here. I've got mine to the right and to the left. Start with the right and bring the right thread over the central thread, and then this one becomes the right thread. Then you bring the left thread over, keeping it tight at the top, bring the right over, the left over, the right over, and you keep repeating those steps. Now you'll notice it's looking quite loose at the top. So let me show you again with me holding the threads. Now I'm going to use my hands to hold the outside threads here. I can pass it over and hold it with my other hand, which will keep it nice and tight. Again, pass it over. And this time, because I'm holding the threads, you can see the plait is nice and tight at the top. It's good to practice this today if you're not sure how you're plaiting, so that you'll be ready to do your plaits if that's what you've put into your design next week. Choose which skills you need to practice today. They will be the skills that match your design. Have fun, everybody. Bye-bye.